Welcome to Last Week in AWS. reInvent is beginning to be a awareness thing. They're announcing it. They're putting things out in the catalog. We'll see what happens. Let's see what happened last week in AWS. AWS Transfer Family increases throughput and file sizes supported by SFTP connectors. You might have thought that Transfer Family's FTP files into S3 was a feature not long for this world as companies learn to speak cloud. Clearly, you don't know large enterprises. Our great-grandchildren will be using this thing because Fourth Bank of Duluth can't be bothered to modernize.
Ever get that chilling feeling when you stumble upon zombie identities lurking in your cloud? Unused, forgotten, yet impossible to delete without risking critical systems? These zombies can wreak havoc if left unchecked, and always at the worst possible time. But fear not! With Sonri Security's Cloud Permissions Firewall, you can quarantine those pesky zombie identities, locking them away where they can do no harm. And the best part? If you ever need them again, simply reanimate them with all their permissions intact, ready to work without skipping a beat. Don't let zombie identities haunt your cloud. Keep them in check with Sonri Security, because in the cloud, it's better to be safe than sorry. Get started with a 14-day free trial of Sonri's Cloud Permissions Firewall at sonri.co/zombie. That's sonrai.co/zombie.
AWS WAF Bot Control Managed Rule expands bot detection capabilities. Reddit had a post last week about how to kill badly behaved bots. The best suggestion there was use Cloudflare, because CloudFront plus WAF plus managed rule sets is just an overcomplicated nightmare. AWS named as a leader in the 2024 Gartner Magic Quadrant for Desktop as a Service. The actual graphic shows Microsoft far to the upper left of AWS in the quadrant. I don't understand why Gartner Day means that companies proudly advertise that a competitor is kicking the stuffing out of them. Announcing general availability of the AWS SDK for Swift. This is a big deal for iOS and native Mac app developers who are still basically the only folks who use Swift. Reinventing the Amazon Q developer agent for software development. Yes, reinventing something that was announced less than a year ago is totally the sign of a company not chasing AI every way the wind blows. Get it together, folks. Support for AWS Deep Composer ending soon. Good on AWS for announcing this clearly. Bad on AWS for hiding a similar deprecation of look out for equipment, a service that never outran the shadow of its truly ridiculous name.
New sponsor Common Fate is here this week. With Common Fate, unlock secure, self-serve cloud access workflows for your engineers. I've been using their Granted product for years and love the thing. Safely provision access based on configurable access policies and contextual checks, such as on-call status or an employee's department. Teams using Common Fate enable a state of zero standing privilege where no one has write or data read access into production environments. Check out commonfate.io to learn more.
AWS welcomes the OpenSearch Software Foundation. Now that Elastic has reversed the license change on Elasticsearch, AWS doesn't need OpenSearch anymore and is yeeting it over to the Linux Foundation so it can run and play with every other open source project launched over the last decade. And finally, the rise of chatbots, revolutionizing customer engagement. No! I don't want to talk to your jumped up Markov chain. I want you to fix your website or service or documentation so I don't have to talk to anyone or anything at all. But I'm glad to talk to you. This is Last Week in AWS, the podcast. I'm Corey Quinn. Please stick around as we get into the most depressing time of the year, reInvent.